It's Silly Story Sunday.
Asmus is asking the questions this week. Why? Because I'm too lazy to set up the tripod and it's way too hot to put on clothing. I'm wearing a bikini.
Do you make sandcastles when you go to the beach?
I used to make sandcastles when I went to the beach, but what I was really loved doing was I would get into like where the water was coming up and going away and coming out, like right there, and I would stand there with my little feet and just go and sink right down to my knees. Like I just kept doing that. So I wasn't so much the sandcastle as the, oh no, I'm stuck, Mom! Because if you did that for a while and then you stopped moving, you actually got stuck. You had to like slowly wiggle your toes, and then you'd eventually be able to wiggle your feet until you loosened the sand up around you. Like if you got in deep enough and you stopped moving, solid. It's pretty cool. And the other thing we used to do is my sister and I, we used to race the waves. Like we'd go into the waves and like we followed them in, and then as they were gushing back, this was like at the harbor though, this wasn't like the beach, it was like the ocean, which in Canada is way too cold. Right up to them, and then as the waves were coming, we were like, ah! So we'd start running the opposite direction away from them. Sometimes Nikki got caught because she was like 3, but it was okay.
Have you nearly been swept away by the undertow?
Yes, actually, with my ex, we went to the beach. It was the scariest swimming moment of my life. We were basically riding the wave, like the wave would come in and we would like, just as it came in, we'd jump up. But anyway, apparently I'm too short and tiny and I got out too far. And luckily we were all romantical back then, and I was like holding his hand because I jumped up and, you know, rolled in with the wave, and the next one swooped me right under, and all I can remember doing is just grabbing onto him as hard as I could. I had no idea if any of us were going to come out of that alive, and like, he's like pulling me back. It was really bad. I don't know if David's referring to the time that I went out to see what was attached to the rock, maybe. Is that what you were thinking of?
Just wondering.
There was something sticking out of the rock, and me, David, and Kale couldn't figure out what it was, and so being the, I don't know, the one who takes a challenge like I am, I ran out there and waited until the big wave came in, and then I ran out to see what it was, and I knew that David was taking the pictures. I was like, take it before I get swept away. Rushed back, and the wave came, and it was okay.
Ever made love on the beach?
No. Doesn't really appeal to me either, because when you do it in the water, you risk being stuck together, and if you do it on the sand, you get sand in your parts. Like, thank you, you appreciate that. Like, it's not so scary for guys, but for girls, like, I'm sorry, if a guy gets a piece of, like, grainy whatever on his yoo-hoo and puts it in you-know-where, then you risk a UTI, and I'm more susceptible to them than most people now, so, I don't know, just not on my list of places to do it.
Rocky or sandy beaches?
Sandy, definitely sandy. But even sandy beaches start off rocky, like towards the sand, like the lake we go to, there's like rock, sand. When it comes to rocky or sandy beach, I want a sandy one if I'm going swimming, and I'd want a rocky one if I'm just going to listen to the water and watch the sunset or do something naughty.
What do you prefer, beach ball or frisbee?
Beach ball. I was never good at catching a frisbee.
Do you hate us people who like to dig holes?
David, why don't you clarify that for the viewers who don't know the story of what tall asses like you used to do?
We wade out in the water, about up to our waist, and we dig until we're at about our neck. And we're 6'4".
So then when short buggers like me, woof, right into this huge hole that this tall bugger dug. And I always thought this was a natural part of this lake. Apparently it was jackasses like Asmus.
Most amount of money you've lost in the water?
None.
None?
I've never lost money in the water. Bikinis don't really have chain pockets on them. Okay, but that's a good question though. Like Flying Dad, for instance, how much money has he lost? Why?
I've
lost money in the water?
$15.
Not nice. My friend lost a toe ring once, but it was like a 5-cent toe ring.
Any lost wristwatches?
Knew it. It wasn't a wristwatch, it was a necklace watch. My ex had this like awesome watch that he loved, and he took it off, put it on the picnic table, and we went into the water, and when we came out, it was gone.
No, that's stolen. I've technically walked in with a watch.
Oh, no. I don't wear watches. I'm not controlled by the clock. I do when people buy them for me, but I hate my arms, so I usually don't try to draw attention to them. In fact, when I get married, I'll probably wear like gloves up to here.
Things are getting kinky, you know?
I didn't know marriage was kinky. Or no, just a long glove.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Anyway, that's all for Silly Survey Sunday this week. Just a small announcement. I'm officially, technically, for all intents and purposes, finished school as of yesterday. Apparently, I'm not allowed to write my final, until 15 days have passed since my previous one. So, I'm not technically done until the 1st of September, but I'm done. I'm gonna pass it. Whatever. I'm gonna call them on Monday and try to up the time frame. But even if I don't, that's okay. It's okay.
Congratulations.
Thank y'all. And I'm still figuring out what I'm gonna do for the Silly Survey Sunday. The first one in September? It would be the first one in September. Yeah, Silly Survey Sunday, the first one in September. It may be uploaded by a friend. We'll see.
Ciao.
This has been a bwings production.
Questions, I got some
Questions I want to know.
Now there's just the awkward pause.
Oh, I can censor that out.
True.
Don't do that.
My.
Because,
Then the video doesn't line up?
no.
Eee, creepy.